Give me the chocolate!
What's up, you guys? It's Benchez, and happy end of the new year, I think. But yes, it has officially come to a close. 2015 has come to an end, and it's my time during this time that I take the moment to reflect and think about all the awesome games that came out this year. Some great, some good, some terrible. You know which ones you are. But aside from that, I'm going to give you guys my top 10 list of favorite games of 2015. Now, let me make this very clear. These are all games that I have completed, finished, and fully played through. These are not just games that are favorites. You know, again, just be like, hey, I liked Call of Duty. I didn't like Call of Duty. Anyway, scratch all that. But yes, this is my favorite games of 2015 list. All games which I have completed, and all which I have something to say about. So enjoy the countdown, guys. My favorite games of 2015.
Best games of 2015! Oh, yeah! Oh, number 10! Baby!
What do you get when a game immediately grabs you? What do you get when a game just immediately just takes you by surprise by visuals, music, characters, everything? You get a game like this, which is Ori and the Blind Forest. From an independent developer, Moon Studios, made for Xbox One and Steam, this game immediately dives you into an emotional, wonderful, beautiful gameplay experience. The gameplay is a very Metroidvania style gameplay, and the story gives you kind of the vibe of like a Shadow of the Colossus / Eco type of style of game. You're on your journey searching for your long lost friend, and in there you're just caught up in all kinds of a visual masterpiece of gameplay, crazy platforming. Overall, it's just a great time to play. It's a great game to play. The music will capture you, the visuals will keep you playing. If you have not had an opportunity to play Ori and the Blind Forest, guys, give yourself an opportunity to play it. You absolutely won't be disappointed. It's one of my favorite games of 2015, and I think it might be one of yours. Go check it out, Ori and the Blind Forest.
It's number 9! That's less than 10!
How do you take an already amazing, well-established RPG franchise and make it bigger, better, and just completely surpassing its predecessors? Well, if you ask CD Projekt, then they will tell you it's called The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This game not only is absolutely visually stunning, it's got one of the most deep, complex, adult RPG stories that I've played in a very, very long time. The characters in this game are amazing. You have your main character Geralt, who is he's just a badass from beginning to end. He slices up dudes, he's good to the ladies, he doesn't take crap from anybody. He's pretty much the ideal character that you would have for a franchise like this. And let's not forget the fact that we also have characters like the lovely Ciri that you meet in the game. You have your lady Yennefer, and you also have the lovely Triss. There's tons to do in this game, lots of fun stuff, cool animals to hunt. You're just going to be having a wild ride from start to finish. And not only that, there's some crazy good DLC out for this game. So if you haven't already tried The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, stop what you're doing. Go pick it up. It's a good game. You're going to like it. One of my favorite games of 2015, and it's probably going to be one of yours too. Go play it, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It's got boobies in it. Check it out.
You know what comes after 7? Number 8! Oh, we're learning today.
You remember the time back in the day when people would say there's no such thing as a good superhero game? Well, I guess the company Rocksteady really took that to heart, because I don't know if you guys have played them recently, but their Batman Arkham series has been by far one of the most incredible pieces of fan service to lovers of the Dark Knight, Gotham, the Batman villains, what have you. and they really send it off in their final game in the Batman Arkham trilogy, Batman Arkham Knight. Just from the start of this game, not only are you just, one, blown away by how amazing this game looks, but you're treated with so many good nods to, like, Batman lore, by fighting some of the most iconic villains in the Batman universe. You fight people like Poison Ivy, the Riddler, the Penguin, Two-Face, Scarecrow, like, the list goes on and on. Some would like to say that this game is about Batman, but let's be real here. The game's really about the villains, and some villains that you probably never thought you'd see again. But I'll tell you this, if you haven't had a chance to play this amazing open world game, Batman Arkham Knight, do yourself a favor. You can probably find it for a decent price now, but definitely check it out. It's one of the best superhero games ever made.
I think I just pulled a lucky one, cause it's number 7!
Freaking Bloodborne, dude. What can I say about this game, seriously, that hasn't already been said? This PS4 exclusive, by far, is one of the absolute craziest games I think I've played this year. Not only is it from Software, but it's from the guys that did the Dark Souls games and the Demon Souls games. So, pretty much you already know what you're in store for. You're gonna die a lot. It's kind of its mantra. It's kind of what it, it's kind of its bread and butter. But just because it's coming from like the Dark Souls previous games and everything like that, don't immediately think that's what this game is. This game brings a lot more that it's pretty much different but the same. And by that I mean it gives you new gameplay mechanics, giving you the ability to actually fire a gun, able to switch weapons, upgrades, all that kind of stuff. Now, for myself personally, this is like the first Souls game that I actually played through and completed 100%. And let me tell you something right off the bat, guys. It was not an easy task. So, if anybody tells you these games are simple, they're probably lying to you or they probably cheat. But I will say this, if you have a PS4, if you're looking for a hardcore challenge with a cool gothic art style, do yourself a favor. Go pick up Bloodborne. It's got some really cool DLC, and who knows? I think if everything's going well with this game, we might see a Bloodborne 2. And you know what? I'm totally okay with that. Get you kind of prepared for Dark Souls 3. You know, who doesn't want to get murdered 50 billion times by the same thing over and over? I know I do, and I know you probably do. So 2015, it was a good day to get knocked out alive. So Bloodborne, you are definitely one of my favorite games of 2015.
What happens when 2 3s make a baby? You get number 6!
You take the world of Borderlands, then you
me
take the
now.
world of Telltale Games.
I want you to know
You
the
put them together,
promotions you
what do you
worked so
get?
hard to get.
Well, you get
That's
Tales
still
from the
coming.
Borderlands.
That's why I'm gonna make you
A new,
assistant vice
pretty interesting
Jack.
story from Telltale set in the Borderlands universe, where you play as 2 characters, Reese and Fiona. 2 guys that are pretty much stuck, like, down on their luck. They get sent to Pandora, and just craziness ensues. It's definitely one of those games that you don't expect to enjoy that much because it is a Telltale game, but the way the characters are developed in this game, the way you choose your path, the way everything turns out, it's quite possibly one of the craziest, most interesting stories that I've ever had to play through. It was definitely an enjoyable experience. It really captured the way Borderlands is, with its humor, its action, and it even got me in the feels a couple times, I'm not gonna lie. But I definitely think you guys should definitely check it out. It's a lot different from your typical Telltale games, so it's definitely worth a look. Tales from the Borderlands, episode 1 through 6. Give it a shot, I bet you're gonna like it.
We're not vault hunters.
Really?
Did you think you could follow my footsteps?
Hey, Lou Bega, you're gonna like this one. It's number 5.
It's back and bloodier than ever. Mortal Kombat X has got to be one of the most intense fighting games literally on the market at the moment right now. It keeps bringing it with its high combo output, crazy freaking characters, over-the-top violence, and new additions of gameplay like the Quitality. Probably possibly one of my new favorite mechanics, because it really is an easy way to etch out those really salty players. Just to give them a little extra, you know, kick in the gonads for being such a wimp online. Now, this game is amazing, but it doesn't come without its flaws. The netcode in the game is probably not the best, but it makes up for it with solid gameplay, fun characters, and an even impressive DLC pack that brings some really cool and new characters to the mix. Some of my personal favorites, like Jason Voorhees, Tanya, you got Tremor, and as well as, let's not forget, the Predator. And you really think to yourself, how could they possibly keep this game going and just keep it blossoming and like growing the way it is? It's gonna take a little bit to keep this game fresh, but thankfully with constant new content updates, new ways to like do the tower challenges, they have faction battles. Each character has a different style of fighting, so you're never playing the same character twice. Definitely, Mortal Kombat X is one of those games that gives you everything for your bottom dollar. And it's only going to continue to grow in 2016 as the release of Kombat Pack 2 just got announced, and oh man, it's going to be a good one.
Say golf games number 4.
Star Wars, friggin' Star Wars. It's really like Star Wars. It plays like kind of Battlefield. Star Wars friggin' Battlefront, you guys. By far, the one first-person shooter slash third-person shooter that has finally rekindled my love to play an action shooter, and all it took was some freaking Star Wars paint over a Battlefield game. That's really all it took. But this game is delivering so much fan service to people who just love Star Wars franchise, and on top of that, with the new movie coming out and everything like that, this game came out at the perfect freaking time. It has everything you want. You can play as like the heroes of the film, you get to play as Luke, you can play as Leia, you can play as Han Solo, or if you want to turn to the dark side, you can play friggin' Vader, Palpatine, or Boba Fett. Like, this game just delivers on so many levels. If you are such a huge fan of Star Wars, this game literally has everything that you could ever ask for in a freaking Star Wars game. It's fun, the online works, it's amazing. If you haven't had a chance to play it, go and play it. You don't even have to be a fan of Star Wars to like this game. That's how much fun Star Wars Battlefront is. Do yourself a favor, dudes. Go play Star Wars Battlefront. You're gonna love it.
He may be a bronze, but you're still a winner to me. Number 3.
With all this drama going on, you would think this would be some kind of like final area, final boss type of thing. But no. That's not how we do it here in Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now, this is in the beginning moments of the game. You're climbing up a freaking ice mountain. And you think, oh, okay, yeah, that's normal. Player. You got an avalanche to deal with. It's pretty crazy. It's only gonna get worse.
Get to shelter!
Like, this game not only just immediately kicks up the intensity, like, to 1,000, like, right off the bat, but it's by far one of the most intense Tomb Raider games, like, to date. Coming right off the predecessor of its crazy, awesome reboot, this game pretty much says, hey, Lara Croft is not playing around this time. She's a straight-up action star. She's gonna bring it hardcore. It's just craziness all around. And just, it doesn't stop. You think you've come to, like, a point where you're just like, alright, we're gonna take it slow from here, right? Nope! Now you're sliding down a nice, like, pathway. What are you gonna do? Bring out your spike and save yourself. But it's like, hey, sometimes the ice is a little too rough. How about a nice, relaxing desert? Of course. Because that's what Lara Croft needs, a little bit of sun to relax. But hey, remember, this is a Tomb Raider game. So that means there's obviously gonna be explosions. Like that one. and more falling down hills. You're gonna notice that's kind of a trend in Tomb Raider games. But it doesn't stop there, folks. How about a little H2O? But the death variety kind. It gets slow, it gets intense, and just the gameplay continues to intensify within every single moment that you play. There will be moments where you're stuck under a water ravine that you have to swim out of, swimming as quickly as possible before your air runs out of light supply, and then next thing you know, you're kind of screwed. And then you get into gunfights where you gotta shoot dudes in the face, like that. And then like this. And then you're just like, oh, that worked out, but it's like, oh no, player, you got a lot more to worry about now. Now you gotta go run through this entire cavern and realize, hey, if you don't run, you're gonna die. So pretty much the best way to put this is, there's really never a moment in Rise of the Tomb Raider that's gonna have you sitting down for a moment and be like, oh, take a deep breath and relax, everything's cool. No. Even Lara Croft is like, I can't stop, I won't stop, I gotta keep moving. And again, most of this stuff that you're seeing is only in the first couple, like, hours of the game. This game is very lengthy. It's very open-worldy. It gives you all the nicks and crannies that you're asked for, and plenty of slow-motion action. So, hands down, guys, not only is it one of the most beautiful games this year, but it's also one of the most fun. Definitely check it out. Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's coming to PC. It's coming to PS4. Check it out.
Too much spicy food? You need a number 2! That's inappropriate.
Super Mario Maker. It's something as super challenging or super crazy, you're given that possibility. This game not only gives you the simplest tools to create your own levels, but it lets you like spread your creative wings and just go across and either make some of the most fun levels, or just overall most difficult levels you could ever possibly think of. It's usually, honestly, it's got an endless supply of replayability and just overall fun factor. So if you love classic Mario, you're gonna love Super Mario Maker. It gives you everything that you ever thought you would need. You can be as trolly as you obviously want to, and you can be as fun as you want to. From classic skins like Super Mario World, Super Mario Bros. 1, Super Mario Bros. 3, and New Super Mario Bros. It gives you the fun, the excitement, and all just the great times that you would expect from a usual, fun-filled Mario game. It gives you the chance to just spread those creative flow movements that you got and just create some of the most mind-bending, crazy stuff that you could ever think of. Whether it be an auto-scroll level, a full-fledged platformer, just endless supplies of fun to have in Super Mario Maker. Definitely one of the best games of 2015. Now get yourself a Wii U, a copy of the game, and start making some levels.
Oh my god! It's number 1! Oh!
You know, it's times like this where I wish I really had a Phantom cigar, because I can't tell you how much time I spent playing this absolute incredible masterpiece known as Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Released by Hideo Kojima. I know a lot of people's like, oh, it's Konami, but this was made by Hideo Kojima. To me, I feel like this was his swan song. This is his farewell to Snake, because after this game, he's pretty much not doing Metal Gear anymore. But right from the get-go, one of the main things that happens to you in this game is you're basically pulled out of your hospital bed and you're attacked by this one. This lovable, gorgeous piece of woman. Cersei's gonna kill you, but I mean, you know, it's nice to have something pretty to look at. But then you're gonna do this. You're on a flaming horse fighting off against this when you're riding on a back seat of Ocelot. It's like, what kind of stuff is going on here? It makes no sense, but it's fun. It's time-consuming, and it's gorgeous. I don't think I've ever had this much adrenaline rush during just the opening playthrough of a game before. It captured me in a way that I never thought possible. And it's friggin' Flame Horse. What can you say about that? It's so great. It's so incredible from start to finish. You have crazy alien chicks with like awesome knockers and huge badonkadonks. But that doesn't take away from the fact that these are interesting enemies and they have this amazing power that it just takes you for a second, and it makes the story like evolve and shape very, very well. But most importantly, this game is quite possibly the most content-filled Metal Gear game that has ever been released. And there's a reason why Kojima made it his last one, because you get to do stuff like this! Shocking people with your electric hand. But let's get back to one of the main reasons why this is one of my favorite games of all time. And probably one of my favorite games of this year. It's because of this character right here. The character Quiet. Now I know everybody would immediately assume it's like, oh, because she wears skimpy clothes and everything like that. But it's not like that. Like, honestly, I feel like this character to me made this experience a way more enjoyable. Just from the moment that you meet her to the moment that she joins you on your team. She proves that she's an incredibly helpful asset to your crew, to your squad, everything. And then she does incredible things that no one else can do. Like sniping a guy that's in a fighter jet with a friggin' sniper rifle. That is some top tier friggin' 420 blaze it headshot stuff. That's insane. And she doesn't say a word. And that's what makes her character even more interesting. She lets her, like, her body language speak for herself. Now, from every section that she's in, because she has some intense moments throughout this entire game, and it makes me really admire the character so much more. And I really feel like if this character wasn't in this game, maybe I probably wouldn't like it as much. But I kind of doubt that. Like, she is an amazing, like, addition to the game, but I feel like the game is so perfect on its own that even without Quiet, I feel like this game is just absolutely what I've wanted in a Metal Gear game. But the question I have now is, now that Kojima is gone, will we ever see Quiet again? Will we ever see Big Boss again? I don't really know. But I won't forget the time that I spent with this game, the fun I had with this game. There's a reason why it's my favorite game of 2015. And I really think you guys should play it.
So there you have it, my handsome devils. My favorite games of 2015. Did you agree with the list? Did you disagree with the list? Let me know in the comments below. But I do hope you enjoyed the video. I myself had a lot of fun making this list, mainly just because there was a lot of good games to choose from this year. Some of them didn't make the list that I really wanted to put on there, but really the main reason why they didn't make the list is probably because I did not finish them. But aside from that, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. 2015 was an excellent year for video games, and I'm pretty sure that 2016 is going to be equally as entertaining year for video games. We got some good stuff coming down the way. But that's going to do it for this episode of Best Games of 2015, like I was going to do more than one. But I will see you guys in 2016 with more games, more fun, and maybe more clip shows. We'll see. But anyways, I've been Benchez. This was the Best Games of 2015. I love all your faces. See you next time.